another busy week in politics with growing unrest in several major cities. Joining us now to talk about this and a whole lot more is political insider Armstrong Williams. Armstrong, great to have you here with us this morning. Let's first talk about the president sending in 75,000 federal troops into major cities. This is something he wants to do, he says, to stop violent crime. Now, this is obviously drawing some controversy after unidentified agents arrested protesters in Portland, Oregon, and local leaders there and really across the country. So the president is abusing his power. What's your take on this?
Well, first, good morning. Listen, when you have situations in Seattle and Chicago, especially Chicago, where people are dying, and these communities are sort of like Afghanistan. They're like war zones. They've been going on for decades, and at some point, somebody has to take a stand. And I think if you lived in that neighborhood with your young daughter, and you hear the stories about these drive-by shootings where innocent kids are dying, if you live in the neighborhood, you could care less who could come in to sort of curb that violence and give these kids a chance at stability and families a chance. You would welcome that. Now, you can talk politics until the day is long, but they're not getting these situations under control. Places like Portland has conceded these zones to these protesters. I mean, there's vandalism, there's still looting, there's still violence, and even in Seattle, somebody died. So while I would prefer the president not have to step in and have the Department of Homeland Security step in, something has to be done. And in the end, if he can quell this violence and they can use their resources to bring this under control, that they get these gangs off the street and out of these communities, I would say a job well done and knock yourself out. That's the bottom line. It's about fear, and it's about gaining control and not conceding through these thugs.
Well, let's shift now and talk about the pandemic. And recently we've seen the president wearing a mask and showing his support for wearing a mask and taking pictures and tweeting pictures of himself wearing one. Is this all for show, or is he actually shifting his tone on the seriousness of the coronavirus?
Adrianna, let me just tell you this. The fact that our president has announced the cancellation of the Republican convention in Jacksonville, Florida, to me, tells you just how serious this is, and the fact that he cared about people coming from all over the world to participate, and knowing that the virus is at a all-time high in places like Florida and other places across the country. I think this is very important that the president is taking this position, advocating that we need to wear the mask. We had a chance to talk to Dr. Mahdi, who is the chief medical officer at Howard University. He's president of the hospital, and he says you should wear that mask. There's no harm in it. It does more good. You have nothing to lose. It is shown around the world when people wear this mask and take these precautions, you find that the virus finds itself going down. Look at places like New York. Look at Boston, Massachusetts. Look at Connecticut. Those places have seen very few deaths since they've started abiding by these simple guidelines. So listen, it's just common sense that the leader of the free world has to set the example that we should wear these masks. And I'm glad to see that the president is finally stepping up to the plate.
Armstrong Williams, everybody. You can watch his show every Saturday morning at 10:30 right here on WJLA 24/7. Have a great rest of your day, Armstrong.
Thank you.